Hey guys and gals, welcome back to the channel. I thought I would make a video coming back to this story I did a while ago about the what's going on with the schools in Campbellton and what the problem that's still going on with the Listigish students. And if you didn't see that video before that I did, and you want to see the footage of what one of the students documented anyway, I'm going to try to find the video on this anyway to show you a glimpse of it, but to watch the full thing, go to there. Well, not full thing, the full video is an hour. It was only 20 minutes of it. You have to watch 20 minutes of it to get what's going on in the video. The rest of it's them just remaining at the spot until the police forcefully remove them. But they're protesting about like how they're not allowed to go to the schools, high schools, the First Nation students because of the closed borders and stuff, and Quebec being a hot zone, but which that is really bad, because there is a very easy resolution to making sure people who live in Quebec in the hot zone don't get into New Brunswick, is by checking IDs before going across the bridge. But they still haven't done that solution yet. They're still not able to go to the school yet. And literally, it's been a while too. Like, it's almost summertime. So they've been out of school the whole year. They still haven't found a resolution to that. Like, that is frigged up. That's why I thought I would talk about this story again, because it's been a whole year and they still haven't fixed it. And also I want to talk about a theory I genuinely have on most of the Canadian news broadcasts stations that are in Canada that report the news. I genuinely have a theory that a lot of the news stations in Canada deliberately avoid reporting any of the bad things that happen in Canada. Even the national is like, one example is, I'll see CTV national news. If something actually happens bad in Canada, you'll notice they won't even report on it. A lot of the stories anyway. Usually you'll see the only time Canadian broadcast stations actually report anything bad that happens in Canada, it has to hit social media and then go outside of other countries, so they can't just not report on it and deny it's going on. I friggin' noticed, like any Canadian citizens, correct me if I'm wrong, if that's not what you notice happen in the news a lot of times. A lot of times, if anything bad happens in Canada, you'll see them reference in some social media posts. And that's the only reason they report on it, because it went to social media, something that's not controlled. And I noticed, like, especially local news stations, like, if you watch just the local news station, you won't ever see one bad thing get reported. And when you see the national news, you'll notice that they don't report anything bad that happens in Canada. You'll hear them just reporting on bad things that happen in other countries. they deliberately leave the bad things out of the story, which that is very bad. That is very low integrity news reporting, I'd say. You're supposed to report on the good and bad things that happen, but for some reason, you'll notice that with most Canadian news stations, the only time they do actually report on something that happened bad is when someone basically already reported on it on social media. It's friggin' insane. And this is one thing I definitely think needs to be brought like to more attention on social media, and more attention to the story to people outside of Canada, because that tends to be when the story gets brought up to attention, is when it reaches outside of Canada. That's why I welcome any people who are who live across the bridge in Campbellton and are protesting about their kids and all that not being able to go to the Sugarloaf High School, being it's the only high school that in the area that like they don't got a high school across the bridge. That's why they have to go to that one. And if you want to come up, I do a panel usually every day. It's a live stream, and you just sign into your YouTube account in the link that I usually post in the live chat when I'm live, and then you could come on and tell the story, tell your story about it, what's going on, because you want your voice, because it tends to be more effective when your voice can be heard outside the country barriers. Because I usually share it on TikTok and everything. I noticed what they do to try to control social media, well, with YouTube. I think this is just something that every country does, but they tend to only recommend their stories by like if you're in Canada, they'll tend to more than likely your stories will be just recommended in Canada. But TikTok, on the other hand, is an application that advertises to, well, recommends to people in all different countries. So that's basically why TikTok is a good way of getting your channel known outside of Canada, you know? That's probably a big reason why I started going up more in subscribers when I went on TikTok, because people from other countries saw me. So if anyone wants to come and rant and have their story being told, because I noticed the last video I posted, I showed that one Facebook video I saw someone posted about that story, but after that I never heard anything else about that. But the only thing I've heard is I have asked Phase on 420 if that situation with the school is still going on, and it is, which is pretty freaking crazy. And if no one feels like coming on to talk about that story, just let me know in the comments below what you think about the story, and if you agree or not with me or not, that they could easily solve this situation by just IDing people who go across the bridge. If they don't want people in the hot zone of Quebec getting across the border, then why don't they just ID people to make sure their residents are actually live across the bridge? It really doesn't make sense to me. I think that they could easily solve that situation by IDing people. I'm starting to think that they might actually just be deliberately doing that, making this problem, the Canadian government, because it's like, why can't they do that? It's been like almost a whole year. It's almost summertime, and they haven't been able to go back to school for pretty much a whole year. So I'm pretty sure they could have figured out that solution a long time ago. Like, the fact they haven't found a solution yet just shows right there that they made this problem deliberately. Maybe it's some kind of funding. Maybe it's some kind of way for them to save on funding by not having to pay for as many students. I don't know. It could be something like that. That's my theory. Maybe it's something like that, because it's a problem that can easily be solved with a simple IDing, and the fact that they're not making any trouble for people crossing the bridge into Quebec, and not making any problem for people just going across the bridge to go shopping. But they're making a problem. But they got a problem with them going to school. That makes no sense. So it's obviously a problem that's being done deliberately. Very obvious it's being done deliberately. Because it's not to try to stop the spread of COVID. That's a complete lie that they're telling. Because if that was the case, they wouldn't let anybody come across the bridge no matter what. They wouldn't just, people can't come over to go to school, but they can come over to shop. That makes no sense. If it really was to stop the spread of COVID, they wouldn't let anybody shop either. They wouldn't just say, oh, people can't go to school. So, like, I remember they said in that Facebook video they did too, that the government's corrupt. Yeah, Canadian government is pretty corrupt. It shows right there. That's like a huge point right there. The fact that they're letting people shop, and they're even allowing First Nations staff to still work there. So obviously this is something being done to try to lower the student budget cost. That's what I think it is. They're trying to save money on, because they technically pay to have each student there. So I think this is some kind of funding scheme that nobody knows about. Because that proves it right there. The fact that they're letting First Nation staff work there and letting First Nation people come shop over here, but they're not allowing them to go to school. That just basically exposes the scheme right there. Because I noticed when it went to yellow zone or whatever, they wouldn't let you cross them at all. I'm pretty sure Halifax might be like that right now. I'm pretty sure you can't cross. So why would they? Like, just shows. But anyway, that's my thoughts about it, and my thoughts on the Canadian news media is deliberately covering up negative stories unless it hits social media. So if any of you guys and gals in the comments below know about the story and want to leave your thoughts in the comments below, if you know a bit about the story and you actually live in the area where this is happening, let me know in the comments. And anyone who wants to talk about their frustrations with that situation, I do panel usually every day, so you can come on and have your voice heard heard more internationally anyway, mainly because I started TikTok. But yeah. Anyway, guys and gals, that's about it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter at DangelJohn1, TikTok at DangelPitcher420, and also PayPal donation link in the description if you feel like supporting the channel further, and referral link to support the channel, and it gives you a discount too for using it if you use any of the websites that the referral links for, and you get yourself like at least $10 off. So check that out in the description below. And yeah, that's about it. Till next time, it's the Angel Pitcher, and I am peacing